and our specialization are designing and supervising the construction of locally adapted architectural woodwork with a focus on studying the local architecture and apply it in harmony with the context, the nature, environmental conditions, and the way of life. And it's also like include planning agricultural space to provide comfortability and make sure it's sustainable. And from the beginning, it's like they are interested in traveling, like going to trips around, like in the more local village in the mountains. Mostly because we are in northern Thailand, we have mountains, and also some of other parts in Southeast Asia, such as Laos or Vietnam or Myanmar. And this is a big inspiration for us. It's like when we travel, we are getting experience. We not just go to like only see them, but we are also talking with them, seeing how they live, their lifestyle, what they believe, and how they bond with nature. And it's very important for us to interact with them and learn how they live. And we also bring some of their techniques back to put it in our work too. Yep. And yeah, and this also today we would like to share like two of our works. This one
Yes.
Yeah. The first one, this one is Baan Ing-suk. Baan it means house in Thailand. Yeah. It's mean a house in Thai language, and this one is located in Hang Dong district in Chiang Mai, in northern Thailand. It's near Obkhan National Park, so it's so deep in the forest, and it's also green and quite humid and cold all year. And this house, it has a compact size of around 50 square meters, and now it's like serving as the accommodation for tourists. It provides 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a small kitchen area, and outdoor living space too. And for the concept of our design, the design we based on the local methods, which are inspired from the idea of khanam. It means like a small pavilion or a small resting area for the farmers. In southern region, khanam is like more southern dialect word of Thailand, and it helps protect farmer from sun and rain. And the design for the residence is we try to make it small and compact, just for the right size for people to live there. And the materials that I use is mostly the things that were found nearby, like wood. For the wood, which include the doors and windows, we try to reuse it as much as possible. And also like bamboo, the local brick, such as the block and earth brick that are easily found in the area, because we try to like using the local materials so that we can reduce the carbon footprint that waste in transportation. And also we try to make it to maximize air ventilation so that it can keep it cool all day, because we don't have air conditioner here in this house. And the design also, like, we try to fit it well with the natural surroundings, which is the green area around them. And different parts of the buildings are designed according to how people living there, and try to make people live out like in the semi-outdoor as much as possible all day long. And we try to minimize the cost as much as possible.
Before we move on, what's the climate like in this province area? Does it tend to be much colder than in the city? Since
Yeah,
you didn't use much air conditioning.
yeah, it's a bit colder. It's quite cold in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Yes.
But during the day it's hot, but it's
Uh-huh.
more in the forest, so it's a bit wet and
Mhm.
cold.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's also the river nearby. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And the air is more clean and the wind flows all day long. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's okay to live outside without air conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, this the surrounding area at night. This is matter
Uh,
of our oh yeah,
yes. Yeah, we could I just have a couple of questions before we move on to this project.
yeah.
So with this type of construction, I mean, honestly, I am quite a fan of vernacular type of architecture, and your design is really similar to how we do things also here in the Philippines. But what construction methods or design ideas did you introduce to elevate the architecture and design of these vernacular houses? Are there any specific methods or strategies or design that you introduced?
You mean for the how it looks like the structure, right? Uh,
Yes, or the maybe some in the way the spaces are arranged, or even the way the materials are connected or jointed. Are there any things that you did differently than the ones that are being done traditionally?
yeah. For this one, it's like we are putting the vernacular methods in more details and the process of the construction, such as using weaving bamboo as a facade the or elevated floor, and also like wooden techniques in joint detail. But the overall house is more like we try to keep it simple and flow as much as possible, and try to maximize the semi-outdoor space. And according to the plan, it's like uh, this one is uh, we try to make it long and to receive the wind as much as possible, and try to making the living area here make it usable for the whole day long. Yep. But for this one, we try to focus more with the materials, the process, and the details, which can see more with the picture, and which I gonna
Yes.
send you more. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe just two more questions. This question is quite, I think, common for people to ask. But how do you deal um, with bugs and insects from entering the house? Like it's usually a common problem, right? In
Yeah.
tropical areas where we want our houses more open to capture the wind,
Yeah.
but yet we have to deal with those things.
Yeah. For insects, it's like uh for the mosquitoes and geckos is the most thing that people are aware of, and for vernacular architecture, I think it's the thing that we have to accept it, like because they can go anywhere in the house. So like in the bed area, we have like a mosquito net on the window or over the net, or over the bed. But yeah, but it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
it's a normal thing that we have
yeah,
to accept.
yeah. It's something that you have to that goes along with the design, right? And
Yeah,
one more thing, I since we have basically the same climate here with our country, how do you deal with the wood rot? Because wood tends to deteriorate more in our climate. So I have read in your profile that you don't apply any chemical treatment. So are there any
yeah,
particular treatment that you do to avoid like termites or even like rotting from moisture?
yeah. The first thing that is like we do the elevate floor level with the concrete foundation down here to avoid wood to touch with the ground, and like when it's more wet, it can easily be destroyed. And also wood selection is very important. It's like mostly we are using old wood and some types of wood that is hardwood, and the termites they don't like it.
Yeah.
So we try to focus on wood selection as well to avoid them.
So you said you're using old wood, right? Like
Yep.
old wood. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like in Chiang Mai sometimes when they demolish the house, and but the structure, the materials like, such as the columns or the roof structure and even the tiles, they still can use. So some of our works we use the recycled materials as well to try to
Yeah.
reuse it as much as possible.
Yeah. So no natural treatment at all. Just use it directly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maddie, you have a question
And
before we move on?
yeah. Since you mentioned this is a tourist attraction and they come here to stay, can you expand more on that idea? People that visit this place are familiar with this Thai traditional house style, or they come here to experience a completely new thing, or do you have any other plans to introduce this style to the people to know about this?
Like, you mean you want to ask that how is like a tourist attraction?
The experience of visiting such a place, like did you get any feedback, like did you have any plan to introduce this Thai traditional lifestyle to the new people?
It's like for this style, we don't sure that how would we describe the feeling or what's the style of it, because it's also like adaptive vernacular that we use. It's like we don't have a specific style or the like how we want to introduce that much, but we just want them to try, and not we want them to try not just experiencing the how to live in this house, but also like we want them to try how to live in this house and interact with the nature, the environment around them by living in this house. And it's the method we want to introduce to other works as well, like not just only about the architecture, but how can architecture provide us the experience living among nature.
And can we talk about more about how we can make this environment more comfort for them? Did you mention this is a cold place, right? Since it's up to the mountain.
Yeah.
But can you walk us through this, like the level of temperature, how you like maintain it in a good comfort zone? Since this is a like open design, like you have this traditional Thai style.
Yeah, it's like for the comfort, to be comfort for us, that I think the wind is very important, because most of our work, to say all, is like we're concerned about natural ventilation more than air conditioning. And for this house, we try to make it the air flow as much as possible, such as the layout, the void, like different kind of windows that allow airflow during the days and night, and also the roof that protect them from the direct sunlight. Yeah.
And I'm also curious about to know how you select this location. Did you have a specific client, or your friend did it for yourself?
You mean for this location for the land, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for this one, actually they are our old clients. The house behind this one is their first house. It's where they are living now, and now here they want to do like it as a accommodation, as an eco homestay, they call it like that. And yeah, so they select here. to try to living together with the owner in the same land, but still have the privacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how long did you construct this building, this house?
For the construction,
Yeah,
we use this. We build this 4 months.
4 months. Yeah. And last question from me. Can you say by how many percentage you were able to save on the cost of this building compared to doing it like the reinforced concrete walls? I mean columns and masonry walls.
You mean
Yeah, percentage. Yeah.
you mean the cost, right?
Yeah, like maybe
money?
you were able to save like 50% of the cost, or by how many percentage did you can you say?
Actually, it's not that much cheaper because we are not selecting using the wood materials for to reduce the cost. Yeah, we can save some of the money by using the recycled materials, but it's not that cheaper because like for the concrete structure, it's fast and it's not that expensive. But
Yeah.
we try to give the importance to our craftsman team, our builders team techniques, and we try to put more money for people behind the architecture more than the materials.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can see it evidently because the way it is constructed, I think it's quite neatly and like in a more precise way, right, compared to the traditional houses. So yeah, if you Maddie, if you have no more questions, we can move on to the next project.
No, we can move on to the pavilion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one is ASA LANNA Pavilion. It's like an annual architect expo in northern Thailand for the year 2023, and we are taking as one of the design team for an exhibition pavilion. And this one is for the exhibition event that held by 3 days in the park for the 20 select team or firm in northern Thailand to come and exhibit here as an outdoor exhibition. And we are doing the space for showcasing the architectural work for them and try to represent northern region of Thailand. And yeah, this one is a part of the work of the vibe here and other photo inside. And our concept is called Chua Krang Chua Krao, which in Thai language it means temporary and transient, because it's a temporary specific site sculpture and also architecture with a focus on promoting like materials, local wisdom, and the people behind the architecture that reflect the distinct local context, which is northern Thailand. And that's the design consideration to avoid environmental degradation. We try to disturb the environment at least as possible. And for the project side. And also we would like to use the local materials to reduce the carbon footprint that happens that made by the transportation of the material by using the nearby materials, and that can be reused for maximum extent. And this brings us to the material choice of bamboo, local bamboo in northern Thailand, which we have different size and type, different species of bamboo, which can have different usage because they have different characteristics such as the column or the substructure or like a decoration to put it with different techniques too. And these bamboos, they serve as the foundation for the architectural forms because our design, how it looks, it comes after our methods. Like we have to know before what we are going to use and how we are going going to take it here and what can we do with them so we can know how can it look. And for the bamboo, it comes with its architectural form. We try to make it simple in simple structure that align with the characteristic of their types. And also for the techniques of the construction, we try to use the traditional tools like the knife or pra, which is the big knife in Thai language, or mui. This one is the not northern language in Thai. It's an X, but it has the head, another side of the head as a hammer, and also the handsaw. And also for the bamboo, we use various techniques such as slitting, notching, making it into the strips and tying them together as a joint. We try to not use the nails, and also we use these bamboo strips and also the climbing plant instead of like a rope. So it's more natural materials that can be degraded. And also other construction technique that can done by the local craftsmen. Because we try to show the skill of our craftsmen team, because we have like a local northern Thai craftsmen team such as the Rizal current craftsmen and also like other craftsmen based in Chiang Mai and Lampang province in Thailand as well. Most of them are the ethnic groups and they have their own skills, their own wisdom, their own techniques. And we are really see the importance and how good they are. We are very proud of them and we want our work, our design to show their skill, to show what they have. And we put it in our design strategy because they have their own background. I think they are very cool and our work cannot be done without them. Yep.
So I've read that this pavilion temporary structure only would be around for like 3 days, or was it 3 weeks?
The event.
Yeah, the event.
It's only the event is only 3 days, but the structure is still there. Yeah.
Up to now it's still there, right?
Yeah.
And what's the function of the structure right now since there's no more event?
We leave it. Now they are like the sculpture there, just that.
Yeah.
It's still in the park. Yep. So people can go and see them.
Yeah. And so could you tell us, I'm just curious about the way the spaces are arranged. Is there any particular reason for the arrangement of the spaces? Like maybe because I saw one picture that you framed it on a tree, and maybe there's something more to the layout than what can be seen in the photos.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm gonna show you the layout.
Yeah.
Maybe it's clearer. It's like when we go, our design strategies is to avoid disturbing the land, the context, which includes the tree. We are not going to touch with the tree. So at first we have to go there. We have to measure all the tree, the size, the location. You have to be specific and know the exact location and the size and the shape of the tree. So we can decide to not touching them. And we try to bend our space that we are try to create the activity among the group of the tree. So like they are blending together to create the new experience of showcasing, exhibition, and also the enclosing space of the architecture among the trees. Yep. Yeah. So we try to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Please go on.
We try to put it among the tree. Yep.
Yeah. Maddie, you have a question?
Maybe probably more on material selection
Yes,
and not specifically for this project. But I want to know that do you see that people are getting more attracted to this traditional style, traditional material nowadays, or they are getting far like distance from it? Especially in Thailand, I mean.
Today, it's like now the trend in Thailand is they are interested more like minimal style, that like Japanese style or more modern style. But we want to introduce this style and techniques. Like it's our thing, our what we can do, and it's also people also interest, but it's more like a niche market, not so much people interest. And yeah, there are people interest, but not that many people are really living in it. Yeah, but we want to introduce and try to preserve our wisdom and try to pass it on too. Yes.
So great. Daniel, do you have any question?
I think before we end the interview, I just would like to know, why do you think, from your own words, why do you think it is important to continue this tradition rather than we go completely to the, as you said, the more minimalist modern style? Why do you think we have to keep this tradition alive and remind them of the wisdom of constructing these houses?
Yeah, it's like we want to present people about that, what we think, what we concern about, like sustainability or the material selection that's eco-friendly to the world, and respect the local context and more like natural materials, that or local materials that also like not just what we are going to use, but also about the process, like the transportation. How are they going to come here, or what are we going to do with them? Not just what are we going to use. Yeah. So we would like to show more about the sustainability, and also we want to introduce the importance of local people's skills, like what we have. And yeah, because I believe that in different part of the world we all have like local wisdom and techniques, and that's good for different part of the world. Yeah, because that's why local people they are doing that, and it suits how they live, and it also work in the context such as the climate, the local area, and it also work nowadays. But nowadays we try to, we quite forgot what we have, but still work, such as sorry, it's like for the architectural forms, like in Thailand, there's I want to give the example, like the people in Thailand, they like the Europe style house so much, the clean one, the เรียกว่าอะไรครับบ้านขาวๆเรียก yeah, in Thailand they like a Nordic style house so much. It's like a trend for people and also the asset business, but it's like, to be honest, it doesn't suit the climate in Thailand that much. Like the sun is very hot and it rains, and like the traditional Thai house, they have the roof, like, and it suits the area, the Thai area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's one of the reasons why we should continue this tradition, right? Because the more people are moving towards the more modern style, it doesn't almost
Yeah.
make sense and doesn't connect with the landscape.